What's up, everyone? This is our first episode of Business Barbells and Bourbon. I have absolutely no idea what I'm doing, so just hang in there with me. uh, got a really good guest today for you for the first episode. It's my friend, my brother, Jeff White. Consider him one of my best friends. Played football with each other in college. I've known him ever since. Been close with him ever since. He was in my wedding. So Jeff, he's got his hands into a few things. So we'll get into that. So Jeff, welcome. Give a little intro. Tell us a little bit about what you do.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for having me. And to go off of what you said, yeah, I have no idea what I'm doing either. But I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah.
We have been friends for a long time. Uh, Football for 4 years together in college, at a high level, and then thereafter just stayed friends and became best friends throughout that entire time, and still best friends, which is probably why we are still on here. So, um, I actually, as far as a little bit about myself, grew up playing football, grew up playing hockey my entire life, played in college, as I just mentioned, got my master's degree from Ohio Dominican University. Shortly after, had no clue what I wanted to do, but I had a degree. That was it. So, found myself in the music industry, and now currently still doing that, and also am in the solar industry. So yeah, my hands are in a few pots, and always looking to find more things to do to keep me busy.
Yeah. And for those of you who don't know Jeff, we call him the mayor of Columbus because he literally knows everyone. If you're walking down the street in Columbus, somebody will yell across the street and be like, Jeff, what's up, man? So dude knows everybody. He's everybody's friend. Um, so I know you mentioned solar and then the music industry. Let's talk a little bit about solar. What company do you work for? What do you do for them? Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, yeah. So I recently got into the industry. It's been about a year and a half now. A lot of that was due to the pandemic, and I'll kind of, if we get off subject and kind of talk about that, we can. But I work for Solar is Freedom. We are the number one solar installer contractor in the whole state of Ohio and the whole state of Kentucky. We recently also just expanded into a couple new territories, which are Greenville, South Carolina, and Charlotte, North Carolina, where we are installing within a 60-mile radius of those cities, with plans to kind of expand upon that as we start to get more installs in those areas. I'm an account manager with them. So essentially handling all of the closes from all of our lead generation through our inside sales team.
Okay. So they give you the leads, you reach out, kind of go over everything with the clients. And um, are you into sales? I mean, do you have to sell these people, or are you just kind of managing it once it's past that point?
Yeah, so from kind of start to finish, yeah, we have an inside sales team. They're essentially handling all of that lead generation, meaning they're doing a lot of the cold calling and getting them on um, our book as an account manager. There's several of us. There's about, I think, 18 account managers, and we all handle all the territories that we are in from an install perspective. So yeah, once it gets on our book, my job is to close them. My job is to sell them on the proposal that our engineers created, along with the pricing that is associated with that. Of course, there's some things that can be changed along the way, some maybe misinformation. So it's really a good chance for us to explain what the benefits of solar are, explain our company as in its entirety, how we started, where we're at now, and where we plan to go, and then get into the product information, the warranties that are involved, so they have a full understanding of our process from start to finish and everything associated with it.
Yeah, gotcha. So yeah, I mean, solar's really blowing up. So I would think great industry to be in. Like you said, you're expanding your company. Has your role changed at all in the year? I mean, are things getting crazy busy now with people, wanting to get some renewable energy, or, what's your forecast on the market and things like that in the solar industry?
So I think the solar industry at one point, like kind of where EVs are, that EVs right now are still becoming more popular. I think solar has kind of already hit that point where now everyone is looking into it. It's just a matter of, who is their utility? Does it make sense for them? Are they staying in this house for a long time or are they not? There's so many variables or factors that we take into consideration when it comes to working with each of our clients. And honestly, it hasn't slowed down. It's always busy. There's always people looking to it and into it. I think if anything, I mean, over the last year and a half since I've gotten into it, it's gotten busier. I think right now, actually, I am at my highest in sales revenue since I've started with the company, as far as from a month to month basis. So, and I still have today's the September 22nd. I still have 8 days left um, to see what else I can get out of there.
Nice, nice. So yeah, I guess, from the consumer side, people are looking to save money on their utilities. Give me like a case study on that. What are people seeing savings wise? What do people have to dish out, up front to put one of these systems in?
Well, that's always the question everyone asks first and foremost is what's like the average? What am I going to have to like dish out for this? And to be completely transparent with you, Tyler, is that um, there is not an average for us because everything that we do is custom to every homeowner. Every house is completely different than the next one. The pitches of the roofs, the where we can install on the roofs. We have HOA sometimes that we have to worry about, and that's a big thing. In Ohio, not anymore because Bill 61 has passed, which means HOAs can no longer um, deny homeowners of any external renovations, and that it does include solar panels. So good for us in this solar
Oh,
industry. So we
yeah,
will see that also take off and help take off. A lot of customers that got denied are now reaching back out and trying to see about getting installed. But yeah, I mean, it really just depends. I've got customers that have as small as a 5 panel system. I've got customers that sold my biggest one year to date was this month, and it was a $91,000 deal. And that's not to scare anyone because, again, I've got some that are as low as $5,000 to $10,000. So it ranges all across the
okay,
board. It's all custom to the homeowner. So it really, again, we take a lot of factors into consideration: where they're located, how the sun rotates within those coordinates of their home. So
gotcha. Yeah, good info. So if someone out there is looking to get some pricing, hit Jeff up. Like he said, it's fully customized. He can't really give you any numbers off the bat, so just reach out to him. I'll put his contact info, in the comment section, so you guys can shoot him an email or give him a call. And from I guess, an employee perspective, do you enjoy working in the industry? I mean, do you enjoy working for Solar's Freedom?
yeah. I mean, again, I've been here for a year and a half, and it was kind of out of left field due to the pandemic, and me trying to find something that I can do working from home. And I would say that I love working for Solar's Freedom. Um, I don't plan on going anywhere. If anything, it's still building my clientele within the states, within the new territories, and growing within the
Mhm.
company. The big thing for me is that Solar's Freedom is exactly how it sounds. Not only for the consumer, being free from paying the higher electricity rates on their utility bills, but for me as an account manager is how I'm able to work from home. I'm able to do just about everything I would do in person. Of course, this is virtual, just like we are right now, and explain everything in detail and really take up less time of my day.
Right, right,
Therefore, to me, the return on the time is exponentially much better than what I was previously doing.
right, right. I get, and you mentioned, the pandemic kind of spurred this. Let's get into the other side of what you do, which is in the event space. you know, I've been to a few concerts with you through PSG, who you work with. Give us a rundown on that industry, what you do with them, the company, how that got started.
Yeah, so that was pretty quick actually, right out of college. I would say maybe a year out. Um, I got involved with them. I was looking for something that was, music related, but also kind of had that promotional marketing aspect to it and kind of grow within. And I did exactly just that. So Prime Social, which used to be called Prime Social Group, is a full service promotions, festival, concert company, kind of all inclusive. We do the bookings, we do the sales, we do, the website, host everything from start to finish. So I started out as a kind of just a rep, essentially selling and promoting tickets, and then that quickly ramped up into kind of handling all of the reps, so overseeing them as more of a manager. And now, even with the solar, I am our sales director. So I've taken the proper steps to get to the point where I'm a sales director, overseeing the structure, payouts, reporting, essentially for all of our festivals that we have and concerts that we have throughout the year. So our main festival brand being Breakaway Music Festival, which is right at home out of Columbus, Ohio. And now we're in 5 different markets. So we've got Charlotte, the Bay Area in California, we've got Kansas City, and we've got Grand Rapids, Michigan. I actually leave for Charlotte next Tuesday, so I'll be gone for a week. And I'm, looking forward to that. Always on the run, always on the road, and again, always trying to stay busy.
Yeah. So, just for everyone listening to kind of get an idea, how many concerts or festivals has PSG put on this year so far?
So concert wise has been a little slow, and I think that's just due to the fact that our main focus has been our
Yeah.
festivals. So when we announced our festivals in, I believe it was March of this year, that we were going to be in Kansas City first, 2 weekend or week and a half or 2 weekends after Grand Rapids, Michigan. The following weekend, Columbus, Ohio. 2 weekends after that, or excuse me, a month after that, Charlotte, and then 2 weeks after that, Bay Area. So really, 5 festivals announced. We just announced our Halloween one. That's always something, and I believe you've been to the Haunted Fest,
I
haven't you?
haven't. I have
Or
not
no,
been.
you didn't go. Okay, so it's just a one. It's just like a one night thing. It's not the type of operation as the multi day festivals. So it's a lot smaller. One night, I think. I think 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. is what it is. So I would consider it more as like a larger
Right.
concert, if anything. But it does. We do like 6,000 people just in that one night.
Yeah.
So it's still fairly
Yeah.
busy, regardless of how you look at it. But yeah, so 6 technically, and if we decide to, we've got some other concerts that we're throwing um, as well. So I think we might have, anywhere from this year, maybe 15 total events, which will definitely increase a
Okay.
lot next year. Where we've been doing, we used to do, you know, sometimes 4 events a month as far as concerts are concerned. So
Yeah.
booking artists, one every week or one every other week. So we were doing a lot at
I,
one
I,
point
I
prior to the
that,
pandemic.
yeah, I was gonna say. I remember you guys had concerts, almost weekly, like you said. Um, well, I mean, is part of that, my guess is you guys make the money on the festivals, not throwing a Thursday night concert at, you know, a small venue in,
The blue,
Columbus. Is that the thought process behind that?
yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't see even as a sales director, I don't see those internal numbers quite as
Yeah.
much. But to my knowledge, and from being with the team since 2014, I mean, yeah, I mean the festivals are really where you make the money because there's sponsorships involved.
Right.
Um, you know, margins are probably a little bit bigger,
Right.
and we've got a lot of different experiences involved with the festivals that take money. but also people have to pay for them. So it's you're paying a higher premium for certain ticket types at that point versus yes, a concert at on a Thursday night at Scully's in Columbus on High Street.
Right.
When you have a $20 to $30 ticket, it's a
Right.
little bit
Right.
different that way.
So you mentioned, you don't have, you're not really in the inner workings that much, but give me an idea of like, how does something like Breakaway come about? Where does that start? Someone on the team just comes up with an idea, and where do you go from there? How do you start? How do you even start the process? Looking for venues, what's that like?
Yeah, yeah. So, a lot of it is started from our co-founders, Adam and Zach. This is their company where Prime Social started, and then Breakaway is kind of our main festival brand, um, where it's again traveling, and we plan to go to another, adding another city basically each year. So now we're becoming this multi-city festival 2-day event. But yeah, I mean, a lot of it is scouting venues, and that's what essentially Adam and some others on our team do. They're traveling all the time, going to different cities, meeting with different people, whether it's meeting with the Kansas City Chiefs, meeting with the Columbus Blue Jackets. We try to find um, areas where we can host events where there's enough space for everyone and really scale it to where it could grow into something much more massive than year
Right,
one.
right. Yeah.
And then from there, once agreements get made, there's of course like permitting and all that stuff that has to take place within certain cities. And then if we announce a city, we're already the lineup's pretty much booked at that point, and then we can shortly after we're announcing the lineup. So then there's a full promotional sales cycle, marketing cycle that is involved with all
Go
of
go
that.
in
And
go
then
into how you find the lineup. You kind of skipped
well,
over
the
that,
lineup
but that's like one of the
well,
main.
yeah, well, that's because that's on that is on the booking side of things, which I have zero anything to do with. Now, do they ask us and say, hey, who should we get here, or we need somebody here in this tier? So it's based on tier level artists, meaning like your highest tiers are like your Drakes, your on the hip hop side, or on the EDM side, or like your Kygos or your Illeniums. So based on what we're booking, concert wise, it really depends. But also for the festival, it's artist availability. I couldn't even tell you how many different festival companies that are out there all across the world. So artist availability is sometimes slim to none, and we only have so much to work with. So we try to get with management, get with agents. I know Zach and Adam and some others on the booking side have created really good relationships throughout the years in the business. Excuse me. So we are able to, get some of these high tiered artists. We're able to do multiple shows or multiple festivals with them. Um, I guess at a better rate sometimes. So it really honestly just depends on their availability if they're able to do it, and if we have the money to book them.
Don't want to get you in trouble, but what does it take to book a tier A? Is that confidential?
I mean, not confidential, but I just don't even have an
Yeah.
answer for you. I mean, it takes relationships. It does take money. Artists aren't cheap by any
Right.
means, and one artist at X rate may take away some other artists that you could potentially fill on the lineup. So really, you have to kind of weigh the value of that one artist versus maybe it's 3 artists that you can get on the lineup. Does that outweigh
Right.
one? You know what I mean? So there's always a whole board, and it's like, okay, who do we want?
Yeah.
Who can we actually get? And let's start with there and start
Right.
crossing it off, almost like a recruiting. Like, look at how they do recruiting
The big boy.
in a way. Like these are, yeah, like when they go to recruiting, they have like a recruiting list of every position, the cities, the schools, all of that. It's kind of in a what I've seen on that whiteboard is very
Yeah.
similar. when it comes to the artists and how we're choosing
When
them.
are you guys going to get Drake to Columbus, man? I've been waiting on that.
Drake is going to do. He runs his own show. You know, not something that we would probably even consider booking, because he'll do his own tours. You know, he'll do arena tours. A lot of those artists like Post Malone, I went to that show on Sunday, and you know they do arena tours. So you know that's a whole nother it's a whole nother ball game.
Right. That's true. Another question for you: favorite artist you've met, least favorite artist you've met. You don't have to say it if it's going to get you.
I'm trying to think. Favorite artists that I have met. That's a good question. Because I haven't met every single artist on our lineups, but from the ones that I've met, I would probably have to say, see, is it a favorite because I like their music, or a favorite because I have my interaction?
Give me both. Tell me both.
This is tough, actually. I feel like I need to go back and look at our lineups, but I would say that I mean, Alinium, one of my favorites. You know, interaction wise, he's always cool. Sets what's up. I mean, the guy is nonstop busy.
Marshmallow.
I would
You
say
said I mean, you've told me fun stories about Marshmallow.
I've met Marshmallow once, and that was actually that's here in Columbus. That wasn't even our show, but met him. He was cool. Wasn't anything out of the ordinary. I would say Martin Garrix. He's fun to hang out with. The Chainsmokers are fun as well.
Yeah.
As far as least favorite artist,
Don't get yourself in trouble here.
yeah, no, I mean, there's all the artists have always been they're pretty relaxed. They're just like normal people. So they're the only difference is yeah they're on a stage and they're performing, and they're making millions and millions of dollars. So there's not one I would say that I dislike. I would say that there's ones that are a little bit more frustrating probably to work with in general, but that's just kind of the nature of this industry.
Some prima donnas, some high maintenance artists.
Yep, you got it. Yeah, exactly.
Well, that's exciting, man. So you're trying to add one city every year, essentially, at least?
One city every year. One city every year is the is the goal.
What's the big vision? 20 cities, 25, 50?
I mean, as many as we can continue to add. It's going to take a lot of bandwidth, a lot more hiring, things like that. So, I think in time, but we got to do it at a a pace that works for us.
Yeah, for sure. Well, appreciate you giving us some insight in those two things. I would chat with you about working out, but you recently blew out both your quads, so you're kind of down for the count right now.
No. I actually since our trip from Norris, let's see, this is week 2. I've been back in it, full throttle, not full throttle, I should say. Working out, doing just about everything I was doing outside of too much quad work. I am still doing legs, but I'm doing more so a lot of body weight stuff, a lot of core. Just kind of ramping up. Haven't started to run yet, but I'll start to run. I think maybe next week while I'm in Charlotte, maybe the week after. So it really just depends. But yeah, I'm back. I'm back in it. I'm trying to get like you.
Oh yeah.
Trying to get like you. I need to.
It's bulk season for me, man. Skinny season's over.
See, you do that. You do all that bulking stuff. I don't. I try to stay here.
For the viewers, Jeff could not work out for a whole year and still look the same way he does. And Jeff is the type of person, if he has his shirt off, old grandmas are going to be coming over to ask him to take a picture with him.
Listen, and you're just talking about what happened at Norris Lake. Was that last year?
Yeah, that was last year.
Yeah, yeah.
That was hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, listen, if you build a foundation, and I say it all the time, if you have the foundation built, you don't have to do as much. You know, it doesn't
Yeah,
take much time to kind of get back in it. So I'll fall off weeks or a month at a time, and I
yeah.
come back, much better, much more motivated. So it's kind of nice to, change it up every once in a while. But
It's
a
gotta
lot of
be
that too.
it's got to be hard with you traveling. I mean, like when you're gone for like a week for these festivals, right?
Yeah, yeah, I'll be completely honest. Yeah, that's the hardest part is to try to wake up and go work out. The good thing is that I'm pretty much walking around all day when I get on site to when we leave site. So I'm doing anywhere from 20 to 30,000 steps per day as it
Wow,
is.
that's
And
crazy.
we get food catered to us, so I always try to pick the cleanest stuff until it hits the weekend, and I'm like, whatever. So a lot of it does um, involve still eating decent even when I'm
Right.
not working out. So
Well, I'm glad your quads are okay, man. It was scary there for a while.
yeah, it's still a little nerve wracking. I did lunges for the first time today, no weight. So I was just I was like waiting for it to happen, but there was no weight, so I think I'm okay, and
Just
I just gotta
ease
take it
back.
easy. You gotta ease
Yeah,
back into it. There's no sense of getting hurt again.
yeah, right. And as a last kind of point, the last B in the show is bourbon. What have you been sipping on lately?
If I had it up here, I'd show you, but I can just tell you, it's been Angel's Envy Rye has been
Okay,
the number one. I don't
the
have
go-to.
quite the go to. I know everyone says ryes are too sweet, but I feel like depending on what you get in your palate, yes, they are sweet, but they still sting. So it kind of and um, I drink mine straight, no
Yeah,
rock.
right, right.
Um, so I'll sit there have a 2 ounce pour, and to me, the sweetness does not outweigh the bourbon taste when you do it that way.
Yeah,
So
I feel like Angel's Envy is underrated for sure. I enjoy both the rye and the regular bourbon. So
yeah, they're
good.
both really good. They're both. I need to do a. I need to go to the Kentucky Bourbon Trail. I haven't been. I need to go. I need to try more.
I
But
know.
my go-to in general for alcohol is bourbon. If I don't
Right.
know what I want, just
What bourbon you
hopefully
got?
they. Yeah, what bourbon do you have? I won't go. You know, drink
Right.
some of the items, but yeah, bourbon's the number one. That's my go-to.
Solid. Well, I got one more thing for you. And I didn't tell you about this, so I might catch you off guard.
Well, you didn't
We're
tell me
gonna
about any of this. Let's be honest.
That's true. We're gonna do a word association. I got 5 phrases or words for you. I'm gonna put 10 seconds on my phone. I'm gonna read these off, and you got to tell me the first thing that comes to mind. Fast.
Oh goodness.
You down?
I'm down, but my mind does not work that quickly. But I'll try it. Let's go.
Okay. All right. Here we go. Lodge bar.
Oh, punch bowls.
Hamilton Hall.
Oh, biscuits and gravy.
I knew you were gonna say that. Smooth caramel.
Oh, that's me.
Panama City.
Woo! Well, that's me, you, and a whole lot of fun. I'll just call it that.
Coach Nemeth.
Man, I wish I could just put a hat on and put that mustache. That's it. That's all you needed.
That's it. That's it,
Uh,
man.
that's
I
a
like
good.
that. Those are some good answers. Well, that's all I got, man. Thanks for coming on today. Appreciate your insight. It was fun. I think we did okay for our first one.
I think so too. I'm looking forward to hopefully coming back on. I know you got some other people in the lineup, so looking forward
Yeah.
to seeing this take off and whatever
Yeah.
you need me to do and pushing it. I'm happy to do so. But yeah, I enjoyed talking with you. Always good to see you, and I'm sure we'll be seeing each other really soon.
Sounds good, man. Love you, brother. Have a good day.
Love you too, bro. Take care.